Thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy Podcast. First up, Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid, located on Stafford, just east of 131 on 44th Street. You can reach them at 532-6600 or irvines.com. These amazing folks at Irvine's do an amazing job. They will say they are not the cheapest, but they are the best. They'll get it fixed right the first time. Amazing techs, amazing staff, veteran woman-owned company. Please support Irvine's, who supports the Gig Economy Podcast. Also, if you are a business out there that is looking to get your word out, us, Jesper and I, at the Gig Economy Podcast can help you. Reach out to us at team@gigeconomy-.com, or you can Facebook message us. That's probably the quickest way to get a hold of us. But we can get your word out. We have thousands and thousands of downloads. We have lots of video views on Facebook. We can get your product or your service in front of lots of people, and our prices are very affordable. Don't let that keep you from reaching out to us. Let us get you a free estimate, a free quote, and we'd love to help you sell whatever you're selling. We would love you to join us on Patreon. There's a $5 tier and a $10 tier. The $10 tier gets you a free piece of merch, extra interviews and podcasts a month, one usually, and then pre-show banter where we kind of talk shit and give each other a hard time. So if you go to patreon.com and search the Gig Economy Podcast, that's patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. That's where you can find us and you can sign up. And we appreciate all our patrons that currently support us. So yes, patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. All right, guys, enjoy this amazing show that we have with Lifting with Larry. You can find him on Twitter, Instagram, at Lifting with Larry 2, I think it is, and all those other things. So thanks a lot for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This studio is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. They are located on Stafford, just east of 131 off 44th Street. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but thank you for joining us. End of May, pre-Memorial Day show. Really appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you can do me a favor, if you can share this show on Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube, or retweet it on Twitter with a asshole comment. Let's see how many sad faces we can get on the show tonight. That was a fun little thing last time. We really appreciate it. Of course, Jason on your upper left, Jesper in your upper right, and Larry below.
Hello,
guys. So we're gonna do it up tonight. Everything that you need to know about the Gig Economy, the podcast. gigeconomy-podcast.com. Also in the description, there's a Linktree link. Click on that. That has all the downloads, the Patreon, the merch, our website, all that fun stuff.
And hello to Janet.
Hello, Janet. Down under.
Hey, Janet.
Down under. Okay. First up, I just want to talk about the picnic again. Of course, we're just going to keep hitting that hard until it's time. September 11th, 2021, of course. I got to update that. It's supposed to be
from 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I will update that. I better write a note because we all know if Pete's brother gets on here, he'll yell at me.
I mean, technically, if you show up at 12, it's okay. We'll just have help set up. So
we'll put you to work.
I was going to say that changes my entire plans if it's at 1. I mean,
yeah, you probably can't even come if that's.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it now.
Bring your wife. Come on.
There we go.
Make a trip out of it, Larry. Come on.
Larry always.
I'll see if I can get her to come. She'll be in school.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a weekend.
You keep her in school and weekends, Larry. You are a rough husband. I mean,
crack that whip. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Anyways, just want to mention our Patreon members, of course, Larry from Bowling Green, Keith from Georgia, Janet from New Zealand, who chimed in, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, and Leo from Detroit. Want to mention the Telegram group. The link is in the description if you want more banter like this and talking about gig work and anything like that. Go ahead and click on that group. We've had a few new members. I think Jenny, she's from Grand Rapids here, and then somebody else too. I'm drawing a blank.
We have new ones that are actually staying. They're not like coming in and leaving
Yes.
10 minutes later.
Nice.
Yes. Also, Rideshare Rodeo. That's one of our podcast friends out in Denver, Colorado. Check him out. He talks about a lot of gig economy stuff as well. More the nuts and bolts of. He's pretty smart when it comes to like the union thing and the Prop 22 and everything. We kind of just breeze over that stuff because I really don't know what the hell's going on.
We have an
He's
article
on top of it.
What's that?
We have an article about Prop 32 later, so yeah.
We do. That's why I gave it to Jesper and not me because I can't keep up with that shit. And then Larry, I meant to ask you before the show, but you rolled in 90 seconds before it started. Do you have any stories from driving at all? Anything that stands out in your mind?
Yeah, probably the funniest thing that's kind of happened to me lately. Nothing big, but I picked up a lady. She was probably around my age. And she had obviously been drinking. I picked her up at a friend's house, and I mean, she had like a bottle. I mean, she was bringing a bottle of wine like home with her. Even
It was
obviously
sealed though, right?
Yeah, definitely. And so we like hardly pulled out of the driveway when her phone rang, and it was the lady at the house she just left, and so they proceeded to have a conversation the whole way home, and it's about a 20-minute ride. But the funniest part was we're about halfway there, and the woman on the phone, her friend's like, "So where are you at now?" And she's like, he's going the wrong way. He took the wrong way. We're going the wrong way." And we were not going the wrong way.
Of course not.
And ladies on the phone's like, "Well, where are you at?" And so I chime in. I'm like, "We're just getting on Natural Parkway." She's like, "No, you're going the right way." and about 3 or 4 times on there, we're pulling into the lady's neighborhood. She's like, "Oh, this is not the right way. This is not the right. This is the wrong way. You missed your turn. You missed. This is not where my house." And the lady's in the back. She's like, "Okay, Shannon, what do you see?" And she's like, "Okay, here's this street." She's like, "No, that's 3 streets before your house. He's going the right way. I promise you."
That's got to be a little nerve-wracking though, because like she might be accusing you of like taking her to a wrong location, and the end on the phone, or the lady on the phone might be like, "Oh, this guy's a creeper," and it could have turned, whatever. But
I was talking because she had it on speaker. You know how they do; they have it on speaker. So I was talking to her too. I'm like, "I promise you, I'm going there." She's like, "Yeah, I know exactly where you're at." She's like, "You're going the right way." I was like, "Yeah, I've lived here 47 years. I know I'm going the right way."
Oh man, yeah, that's got to be oof, man.
It was more funny. Sometimes it's irritating, when I think when they're more sober, it's irritating. But when they're as inebriated as she was, I just laugh it off. It was kind of funny.
I hate to say this, but that's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is getting back on the road
and playing with the drunks.
Well, yeah, take it. No, I like to say taking the inebriated people home safe.
Not playing with them.
Much better.
Yeah, being amused at the same time.
I know.
Man, yeah.
So, on that note, when do you think that's going to happen? When do you think that it's going to be maskless driving? When do you think, Larry?
Well, I've been seeing on the message boards that a lot of places the Uber app's not making you take the mask picture annemore.
Yeah, I've seen that too, but I wonder
But I mean, according to my OSHA though,
right,
transportation is still covered. Is still
right.
requires the mask. But again,
I'll tell you what,
I didn't want to make it into a deal about that tonight. But it's just, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, just between the 3 of us, don't tell anybody else. But just between the 3 of us, at least half the rides now, me or my passengers are not wearing masks.
I read some of the articles talking about that tonight and how a lot of the drivers has been very weird about taking passengers without masks because they're worried that if they do report them, the passengers are going to be mad and going to report
and I'll only take it off. Like I'll put it on when they get in, and a lot of times they'll get in like, "Hey, I'm vaccinated. Do you mind if I don't wear a mask?" I'm like, "No, I don't care." And they're like, "Oh, you don't have to wear yours either." And so, I mean, I've got it on my dash cam.
Technically, right? If everybody's vaccinated, you don't have to have that on, right? But it's not, I mean, again, I know I can't drive with a mask on. I tried several times, and it's just
you're such a bitch. I mean, come on.
I do it. You can do it. Up immediately, Jason. You're not wearing glasses.
I am.
Well, figure it out. I mean, half the country wears glasses.
Hey, if I needed you to get on my case, I would have told you. Okay.
Oh, I'm
you
sure.
You need to be my friend on, helping me out here.
I am trying to help you out. I said
Trying
there's
to make you some money.
Yeah,
But
there's
no, I'm looking for it. I tried that delivery a couple of times, and it's just not me. I know that's where the money is right now. It's boring, and I don't want to do it.
listen to this guy whine.
I know.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
give me-
I can understand on the food delivery. That's not my jam either, and I'll do it when it's slow, but I'm much rather prefer passengers. But of course, school's out now, so it's slowed down a little bit. And Lyft here is offering, for the first time, it's offering like streak bonuses and weekly bonuses. So you can tell there's, get on the map and there's Lyft drivers everywhere around town, but Uber, there's like me and one other guy. Usually,
I'm wondering how quickly all the drivers will be back on the platforms, because that's one thing they're saying is that both of them is desperately looking for drivers, right? And Grand Rapids was oversaturated before everything happened, but now so many drivers have jumped ship and doing delivery and loving the fact that they don't need people in their cars.
Yeah, that's the same way here.
A lot of people don't want to come back. So it's
there's definitely not as many drivers here as there used to be at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
So I'm wondering how, as the need increases, how quickly are they going to be offering up bonuses and maybe even bring back the multiplier? I'm hoping.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I want the multiplier.
That would be sweet.
But
I don't know. I think it'll. I think we will see some drivers coming back as these states are starting to end the extra unemployment money and things like that, which is weird. And just a funny side story, I woke up this morning and the IRS had deposited $8,400 in my account, and I have no idea why.
What?
I got my tax refund last week. I have no idea where this money is for, so I'm putting that aside and not touching it till I work that out with the Gestapo.
You may be asked to pay that one back.
Yeah, I don't want the Gestapo coming after me.
So I have a question. Did you ever go on unemployment?
No.
Not during this pandemic at all?
No.
Because I know they were
full-time job.
Yeah, I was just saying, I know they were issuing refunds for some money that they took and they shouldn't have or something.
Nope.
Oh, that's some scary shit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I logged in my bank this morning like, what the hell is that?
I would be so excited and then so sad in the same breath.
Yeah. I tell my wife it's going straight into Ethereum.
No, it's Doge or whatever how you
Dodgy coin.
Doge, yeah, it's a good time. A good time to buy Ethereum right now. It's pretty low.
Yeah, it was really low over the weekend.
Dude, it flexes. I have some money in each of those, and it flexes so random. Like one day,
I was down like 50% over the weekend.
Yeah,
then
and then it goes.
But I'm not going to take it out anytime soon, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just leaving it in there. That's that's fantasy money off in the future if it ever goes really big.
Well, what kind of money are you putting in there, Larry? Fantasy money. I mean,
I still wish I bought some Bitcoin back when they were $200 each.
Somebody was selling, like, I think was it my son? Yeah, he made like on that Doge, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Someone help us out.
Doge.
But he made $800 off for like $100 investment off that.
Oh yeah.
Imagine this: Bitcoin was at its highest for $65,000.
Yeah.
Right, for one. If you had paid $200 for one, you would have made $65,800 for one.
Oh, I remember when it was down, down in the few dollars.
I know. Right?
And if you had a bunch of it, I would cash out and be like, "That's all she wrote." I would.
Oh yeah, I'd be living on my island somewhere.
Anything six figures.
Pay off your house. Be done. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done
working.
Like,
yeah, peace out. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would be bored though, Jason. You can't just be done. You have to do something.
I would create an amazing garden. I would create an amazing podcast studio. I would do all the stuff I love to do that I don't have enough time to do because of my job.
Right. No, yes. So you'd be done with your job, sure.
Right.
But you would go back. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't sit still for nothing, man. Like, that's hard for me to...
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
But anyways, Tip Dash from Twitter says Larry needs to throw an 8,400 party in Bowling Green. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Bring that money up to the picnic.
To the picnic. No, Jason, I'm saving that for Nashville for me.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, what's Nashville?
Podcast convention.
Conference.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. But Larry, seriously though, are you coming up here just to throw you on the spot?
Oh, I have every intention of coming up for the picnic, unless because it's it's September. The kids will already be back in school. Who knows? I could be retired by then too. So I don't know.
Well, then you'll be on to your next job. You should take like a year off.
I don't know about that. Maybe a little. I'll take a little time off. But I don't know about
We're planning Larry's future here with fake money from the IRS.
That's right.
Fake money. Well, but at least it was more than $8,400. Not a lot of retirement for that.
No, but I am interested to hear how that plays out. But anyways, let's move on before we chit chat with none of our stories here. But first, Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. Megan was on earlier. Thank you for supporting the Gig Economy podcast. We really, really appreciate it. I definitely do need to get my car into Irvine's. I'm burning oil, guys, in the Honda. The Honda's starting to show its age and mileage. So yeah, I have to add oil like every other oil change. Every other like gas fuel up, and I'm not even driving that much. But anyways, 532-6600 irvines.com. It's Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. I think we talk about a story tonight, maybe not, about how California wants by 2030 is going to make all their cars have to be EV for Uber and Lyft, which is, I'm really interested how they're going to make drivers do that. But anyways, they can fix those EVs as they become more popular with Tesla and the Chevy Volt. Irvines.com to schedule any kind of service. You can obviously call them and do the same thing, but the easiest, quickest, fastest way is to go to Irvines. That's ERVINES.com. Amazing Google reviews, amazing company, woman-owned, veteran-owned company, and we can't thank them enough for supporting the Gig Economy podcast.
Hey, Jason, what does the EV stand for, just for the people who don't know?
We're talking about Teslas and Chevy Volt, so...
Electronic vehicles, right?
Electronic?
Well, electric.
You don't even know.
I know, right? I was just trying to be friendly. And
that's why he was asking you.
EVs,
he didn't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Anyways, but no, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'm interested how Uber and Lyft are going to facilitate that. But first,
probably put a multiplier on all the EVs and nothing else.
And force people to drive it. Here's a first picture just to kind of get things started out. This reminds me of Ben so much. It says, for the audio listeners, it's, I don't know, is it the Queen? Probably. It
is the Queen, yes.
She is knighting some old coot, and she says, me, an introvert, and knighting the guy that says the Uber driver who didn't talk the entire ride. I know Larry and I know Jesper would hate that. I figure they want to run their mouths so much that they don't want a quiet ride, but sometimes you just want a quiet ride.
You just said, don't touch the radio and shut up.
Shut up. Sit down, buckle up, shut up, and don't touch the radio.
Sit your ass down, woman, and shut. Sorry.
There is a saying to that, like, sit down, shut up. It's something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna screw it up trying to.
I know there was several videos back in the olden days where there was somebody.
What videos?
Can I hear the? Can I use the radio? Do not touch the radio.
No, I've never said it like that. If someone is nice about it and said, "Hey, do you mind if I change the channel or listen to something?" It's when they're aggressively just grabbing it without asking. That's what, like, I wouldn't let my kids do that. I'd smack them on the hand too. Like, hey, do you pay the payment for this thing? No, shut up. Anyways,
do not touch the radio.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's definitely a lot more fun when the passengers talk. But you kind of, it doesn't take you long to learn how to read people and figure out if they don't want to talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask a couple of questions.
Yeah,
and if they're like yes and no answers, then I'm like,
okay, yeah.
Or they say, just coming back from a long flight. I'm like, nope. Just gonna leave them alone.
Get in and put in the earbuds, that's always a good sign.
That's thank you. I honestly think I know Jesper, we haven't heard about his amazing Uber Comfort lately because he's not driving people, but that was a nice option that you could do that. I think they should offer that for everyone. Like, hey, if they don't want
to let everybody know.
Yeah.
I don't actually think I'm gonna be Comfort when I'm coming back.
Is the van gonna be too old?
I think so.
I don't even know if my car is going to qualify. I don't know what the cutoff is in Michigan. Maybe 12 years old.
I thought it was 5 years for comfort.
Oh
I'm
God,
not
I thought you meant for regular. I'm like, I'm definitely out of the game then. I'm 11 years, so I got like one more year of that thing. So, but anyway,
maybe
if they're desperate for drivers, though, they'll push that out.
Dial up the dial.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm not really chomping at the bit to get out and do passengers, because I can make more money on doing food. I mean,
go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, like, when I'm out doing full time, my goal is to make as much money. If I was doing it in the summer, I might be more likely to do passengers, just because it's like, if I have a good night, I do. If I don't, I don't. I still have my regular job.
Right. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, I'm actually having my inspection for my vehicle on next Wednesday. It's already been scheduled. So.
Oh, at Irvine's, right?
Sure.
Crickets.
Sorry, Megan.
Better hope she's
not an Irvine.
You better hope she's not on. She'll kick your ass.
I know.
Oh, why are you turning red?
I'm not.
Turn
on the color.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Okay, so we are going to talk about an article that says, this is the article about Prop 22, and the title goes, "A slap in the face. California Uber and Lyft drivers criticize pay cuts under Proposal 22." So basically, the big thing is what they're saying is Uber and Lyft drivers in California are up in arms about the effects of Proposition 22 since the controversial state law went into effect in January, after an aggressive and expensive lobbying campaign in favor of the ballot amendment. So the big thing is they're saying is because of Proposition 22, rides out of LAX has the mileage reduced from 65 cents a mile to 32 cents a mile. Ooh. It's halved, right? And Uber has removed the multiplier option for the drivers who set their own price for rides. So there's absolutely no reason why anybody would want to go to LAX right now for 32 cents a mile. One of the drivers that they asked is saying they took away everything, the ability to see what passengers we're getting and the ability to set our own prices. So basically, the Prop 22 is really hurting the drivers right now, because obviously what it did is it made it so because of Prop 22, they're still independent contract workers. They're not employees, and all the things that they added before they now have taken off. So it's really not, Uber is just not playing nice at all. So they say here that they had added the multiplier option. Uber had added the multiplier option back in January of last year in an attempt to prove drivers are independent contractors by granting them more flexibility as Uber. So basically, they were doing that to kind of help their own Prop 22.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we were saying, Jason, we were always kind of against Prop 22 because we wanted to obviously keep people as independent contract holders. But right now, what Uber is doing, according to this article, and obviously over there, is they're playing really dirty.
They're dicking them around like they got what they wanted. They're like, okay,
exactly. But then
put the screws to them.
I know, right? So basically, there's so they're taking everything away from them. And this one driver that they're talking about is there's absolutely no reason for why they should go to LAX and pick up drivers. So they say here, drivers have also criticized the implementation of the healthcare benefits provided to gig workers in the wake of Prop 22. A survey of over 500 drivers in California found that 86% of gig workers were ineligible for the healthcare subsidies due to that type of insurance coverage. So, Prop 22. According to that, they had to offer this benefits, but because of the insurance coverage that they're looking for, they're ineligible. So basically, it's really also just inert, which is just, again, as you said, Jason, they're just kicking them around. And then the last thing that they're saying is that Uber and Lyft also, well, primarily Uber, but also Lyft, they're thinking later on, has announced a number of stimulus packages for existing drivers and to lure newer drivers onto the road. But basically, they're saying they're just traps. Many workers have stopped driving for Uber and Lyft because the pay is so low and the risk is so high. 7 years ago, when the companies first started, they lured workers into purchasing cars and working for them with similar incentives. Then they dropped the wages lower and lower and lower until workers were losing money after considering their expenses. So basically, again, it's this whole, they call them traps again. They want more drivers on the road, but eventually they're going to just kind of take it all away again. So basically, this whole article is just talking about how, as you said, Jason, they're just kicking them around, and really right now, California is not a very good place to be a driver. So
I don't understand their thought process by like cutting rates in half with one of the busiest airports in the world. Are they just seeing the amount of drivers that are already there and just gambling that there still will be drivers there?
Yeah, and then they're going to fight it with stimulus. They're saying with these stimulus packages of getting new drivers on the road. It's the same thing we saw in Grand Rapids, right? It's like keep getting new drivers on the road. You really don't have to, quote unquote, teach them how to do it effectively, because there's always going to be a new driver trying it out, and it's not a good, healthy way of running of getting the system going, right?
Like you said, there's no reason for people to pick up at LAX. I think Harry, the rideshare driver, commented on one of his articles that he had flown into LAX and it took him almost an hour to get an Uber. Yep. And he's like, people are turning back to taxis because it's taking so long.
Yeah, the same thing happened in Grand Rapids. My chiropractor flew in at midnight, which is the last flight in a GR. And they ended up taking a taxi too. You couldn't get an Uber, and it's tough anyways at that time to get one. But right now, it's just there's nothing. But I agree with you, Jesper. They're just like anything, they're going to bring in a bunch of new. Thanks, Brian. They're going to bring in a bunch of new drivers, and they're not going to pay the drivers that have been around extra. And they're still going to get the work done. I don't know, 32 cents a mile in LA. Like, isn't gas like $6 a gallon?
Yeah. Well, and then with the increasing cost of gallons, it's like, I mean, it seems like a joke, right? I mean, it's like,
well, that's why they're making them go electric.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Well, the problem,
maybe that's how they're going to do it.
The thing is, though, there's people that are kind of, I don't want to say locked into this kind of work. But they kind of are, and so I think there'll be people that will still drive at that, and they'll try to make it work. But I would be like, that would be the last straw for me. I'd be like, no, you're basically cutting my mileage in half. I'm going to move on to something else. So,
but really, if you look at it, right, isn't that what Uber wants? Uber doesn't want the drivers to get too knowledgeable on how to do this.
Oh, of course not.
No, they just want that fresh meat.
It's just they want the churn going, right? They want new drivers out there with newer vehicles, just trying it out for a year and then moving on, right? That's what they want.
Yeah, and honestly, it's hard to pass down if you got a buddy that wants to drive and they're going to give you $1,000 as the referrer. It's like $1,000. Like, it's hard to say no to that,
Yeah.
Although I thought I had a bunch of people sign up that never did the rides though. So like, it doesn't mean, because the requirements are, it used to be like nothing. Like, you could refer somebody and they'd have to do like 10 rides and you got the money. Right. Now it's like a couple hundred in a month or 2 months. Yeah. And if you don't, and it starts the second you apply, it's not the second you get approved.
I think I had to do 50 rides from my first ride. So the counter didn't start until you had your first ride.
Oh, I looked at my DoorDash referral from you, and you did one ride, one delivery. Jesper, I was supposed to get $750, and you did one, but it was a ridiculous number. It was like 250 deliveries in 30 days. It was something.
Oh my, that's a bunch.
Yeah, I know.
It ended up to being like an average of 4.5 deliveries or 4.3 deliveries a day. So it doesn't, I mean, obviously that's every day. So if you did 10 or 12 on the weekend, that would, but I mean, you still had to go out almost every day to get that done. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, I knew it too. Excuse me. Next up, some drivers lose money because Uber bought Postmates. So a couple of highlights from that, which we all know that it happened. Uber bought Postmates for $2.65 billion. By the way, that seems super cheap to me. Everyone's trying to buy everyone. Just Eat bought Grubhub for $7.3 billion. Now that's some cheddar right there.
Did you hear? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can.
Well, I was just going to say, did you hear that Amazon is buying MGM for $9 billion?
So what is
All that.
MGM? Is that a
Film studio.
That's what I
Film
thought.
yeah.
It's called all the James Bond movies.
Okay, $9 billion though, like to Amazon.
That seems cheap.
That seems really cheap.
Pocket change.
Right.
I know.
So what this article is focused on how much trouble these Postmates drivers are having transitioning over to Uber Eats, to being an Uber Eats driver. A lot of them are actually getting dinged by Checker and getting kicked off the platform. Well, Postmates didn't ding them and allowed them on there. Uber is not letting them. So Uber acknowledged that its requirement for driving records will mean a certain percentage of Postmates couriers will lose that source of income, but decline to give an exact figure.
Well, of course.
This guy, Roswell, drove for Uber Eats until he got an offender bender and was removed from the platform last year. With 2 points on his license, he was still able to work for both Grubhub and Postmates, but with Uber's acquisition, his option for delivery work has been reduced just to Grubhub. So this is actually surprising to me that that Uber's actually strict on something. This guy, go ahead.
It's the Checker thing, right? So that's the one who kicked me off Lyft too.
Yeah. So,
but it's weird because I'm not saying this was pride by any means, but I had more than 2 points on my license.
Well,
Uber never kicked me off.
I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on the strictness of driving versus like a criminal record? Like where would you rather have? I mean, I guess the most dangerous part to you as a driver with someone else as a driver is the driving part, right? If they're a speeder or reckless, you're more at risk. You're probably not going to get in the side of their Uber if they have a charge for something, but
I guess it depends on what their record's for.
Well, a lot of it too, like if you get popped for, marijuana is legal now in Michigan, but if you have an old charge on there, I wonder if that would be an issue to drive. Like, I don't know how it is. Obviously, I don't want anyone that's a felon or, obviously, did some terrible things, but I don't know. Matthew Miller has a clean driver record, but he's been waiting 2 weeks for his final approval from Uber Eats. Would-be gig workers have experienced issues with background check delays over the last year, which Uber has said are tied to pandemic-related government shutdowns and court backlogs. That seems crap to me. All that shit's automatic, especially if it's a clean
court backlog thing is not right.
Especially if it's a clean record.
Yeah, because I know people here, they were saying, Uber was telling them it was because our courthouse was shut down, and our courthouse never shut down ever. During the pandemic. I mean, you couldn't go in, but they had a window where you could do, could do stuff from outside, and Checker sends it back like in 2 or 3 days, but then Uber it takes 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
Did they have a drive-through courthouse there?
No, not drive-through. It's a walk-up window.
Just to pay your fines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing court proceedings that way.
No. I'm talking about for your driver's license and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I feel bad for this Matthew Miller. He was working 35 to 40 hours a week on Postmates, averaging $1,200 a week, but now he opens the Postmate Fleet app and there's no work available, and a pop-up message directs him to Uber. So he can't even work right now. Like, oh man, this doesn't surprise me with transitioning over. I mean, Uber is rough on all that stuff, but
again, like we always say, don't put all your eggs in 1 or 2 baskets.
Right.
Have a bunch of gigs to fall back up on if you're dependent upon gig work.
But one thing that this brings up is, these companies keep buying each other up. We're losing gig companies quick. Yep. I mean, not too much, but I mean, wasn't Amazon threatening to buy DoorDash? One of the food places, I think. I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember. Yeah.
And there's rumors of them buying Lyft at one point.
Oh yeah, that was Lyft. That's right. This guy,
I still wouldn't be surprised to see somebody end up buying them.
Yeah, because Lyft has got to be just hemorrhaging money right now. Another guy, Lance Peterson, one of the workers impacted by the acquisition, has been among the most productive food delivery couriers at Postmate. About a week ago, I received an email from the company which said, "We've crunched the numbers and official. You're the top 1% of all Postmate drivers." He started working as a courier after he lost his job as head cook at Denny's due to the pandemic. But despite his high standing with Postmates, when he tried to make the switch to Uber Eats, he got rejected. Didn't say why. They just rejected him.
Well, he probably knows too much. He's too good. They
He's
didn't
too
want
good
to
at
drive it.
Well, we just talked about that, right? Let's get a new guy in here that's stupid. You know,
Yep.
God, that sucks though. The guy was like one of the best drivers over the pandemic, and
Congratulations, you're top 1%. Now you're fired.
you're fired.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be too good. Bye.
One stat, just real quick, and we'll move on. I thought was interesting. Uber, which saw a 53% drop in rides during the pandemic, is still not profitable over a decade of operation. And they just keep.
But it's because they spend all their money on other stuff. I mean, it's not like they're not getting any money in. They're just spending money stupid.
Well, they sold the stupid driverless car program, so that probably saved them a shit ton. Yeah, but it's just stupid.
I mean, they're pencil whipping the numbers.
Yeah,
well, of course. Yeah, I mean, they probably don't have any interest in looking like they're profitable. To be honest,
I don't know what they're talking about. Hey guys, media has been profitable for 2 years, so like they can suck it.
Don't be lying, Jason.
Well, yes, they have. We showed some profit. I mean, we didn't get paid from the company, but
$10.
Hey, as long as it's in the positive. All right, moving on.
Did you want to put a Larry article in now? Are we going? Oh, no, we're not. Good.
Just shut up and I'm running the show.
Saving the best for last.
There you go. So Natalie Navarro, I should have gotten rid of that name. Sorry, Natalie. Received a call today to pick up a package with a 4.41 rating. Arrive at a house and text her to let her know I'm there. The area is densely wooded and I can't even see the house from the street. Her driveway is super narrow and overgrown. I decide to wait at the entrance to the driveway. I'm not driving my car through her jungle. 10 seconds before her 5 minutes up, she texts me to pull up to the house. I canceled. What would you guys have done? I wouldn't have canceled, but I wouldn't have pulled up. I would have just said nope. Not if there's that many like overgrown and they would have scratched the side of my cars and stuff. No way.
Are you worried about your car or your life?
Well, my car.
Obviously.
Life is, my life is,
Well,
second.
she just seemed to be like, I don't know. I think she was more worried about, maybe she was worried about her car, but I think I read it as she was worried about her safety.
Yeah, and the low rating. I think she probably figured there was a good reason for the low rating. That's a hard call. It would have to. I mean, it would depend on how far the ride was going, if it was daytime or nighttime.
Yeah,
I mean, I would not have had any problems pulling up to the house if it was nice and maintained.
Oh,
I always hated the driveways when there's big trees hanging over and stuff. I didn't know. I didn't like doing that.
Well, you don't want to drive for Amazon then, because there's some shit I've driven through in my car. Like some of these, I'm not kidding you, dude. Like some of these homes out in the boonies, it's like the weird. What is it like Children of the Corn or one? I don't know. I don't want
driving up and start hearing.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of those scary movies, so I'm struggling on the titles. But it's like that. You're like, people live in this house. Like I'm afraid I might fall in a hole and no one will ever know where I am. But yeah, I looked at it more of a safety thing. But whatever. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I've had a few at night that I was a little unsure about. They say way off out in the country, and then they said way off the road, and you're like, man, I don't know, and I don't see any lights on. I'm not so sure about this.
Yeah, it's not worth risking it. And that's another thing. Speaking of Amazon, we haven't had too many Amazon stories lately, but it's so scary on those homes at night. Like you're walking up to their front door. Like it's not like you're just throwing it, out the window, or you're putting mail in the mailbox. You're walking up there and ooh, shit.
Yeah, that's one thing I would not like about animals on Flex at all. Because even when I'm rideshare driving, if it's after about 9:00 at night, I usually don't pull in the driveway because you're not absolutely sure with Uber that that's the house.
Correct.
It could be the house on either side. So I hate pulling up in somebody's driveway, especially if it's out in the country. it's out in the country, I'm definitely not pulling the driveway if it's, after 10 o'clock or something, because you'll meet the business end of a shotgun pretty quick.
Yeah, there's
unless you're dropping off, right?
Yes.
Well, of course, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's been a couple of drivers that have been presented guns even in this area, and I had a couple of issues at night too, and I just stopped driving at night. I didn't do flex deliveries at night. I wasn't going to.
And that's why I don't like doing food delivery at night for the same reason. Like
But food, they're expecting it within the hour. You know what I mean? Like Amazon, I ordered
if you're at the right house, because I've had the wrong address before.
True.
And plus I don't, I'm always worried about the dog situation at night, because you get out one of these country houses and pull up and dog come flying out of nowhere. So
you got to ask, Chris Posthumus has been bitten like twice doing food delivery.
I have a police baton. I keep expandable baton. I keep my, I put that in my back pocket when I'm delivering food.
Do you really?
At nighttime? Oh yes.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. I don't think any kind of mace or I don't know, by the time you fumble through getting it ready, like the baton, you can whip that thing out in about a half a second.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you do that at home? Just practice before you go out, just in case?
Yeah, I'll send you a video.
I'm glad you said that before I drank.
You haven't seen that on my TikTok? Come on, Jason, get on it, man. What's up?
Anyways, you apply the WD-40 so it slides out really nice.
Yeah, you know about sliding out, don't you, Jesper?
Hey.
So this lady, we talked about this probably 2 years ago, maybe last year, but a gentleman had helped her out. She was this guy's Uber driver, and he ended up paying, I don't know, I read the damn article, but he ended up like getting in a good conversation with her, tipped her like $150 to cover the utility bill. She had said that her utility bills were overdue and she wanted to go back to school, and she promised that she would. But long story short, he ended up, well, before that, she couldn't afford the $700 overdue. Like, she owed money to the school from like overdue whatever back in the day. You know how it is. They're not going to let you roll in class until you pay your debts. I mean, So he ended up paying that for her too. She reached out to him, and she graduated. She graduated with a criminal justice degree. It's so cool. The guy went to the ceremony. Super cool. Apparently she was able to go through a scholarship, like I think it's women over 35 or something going back to school. But yeah, it looks like she made it and she graduated, and it's just cool to see. You never get to see, you hear these stories and you never get to see the finale of them, whether it be good or bad. Like, you hear this terrible thing that happened and then it's nothing. You don't hear anything. So it's cool
it's good to hear the good stories, because it's by and large all we hear is the bad stuff.
Yes.
That's the news, right? People don't want to hear about the good stuff. That the news don't want to write about the good stuff.
Yeah, that's totally true. So I'm glad this article, I'm not sure which of us shared it, but good for her. Good for him for following through. Seemed like a nice guy. He ended up getting on the board of that, where she got the financial assistance from. I can't remember where it said that, but let's see. But anyways, doesn't matter. So that was kind of cool too. So like, he got on the board, and like this whole little like symbiotic thing kind of happened with her and him, and it's just really cool. It's really cool to see that. I always try to look for good stories with Uber, but I very rarely find
They're
them.
tough to find.
They are tough to find. Jerry said that he has wasp spray for protection. Interesting.
Hey, what's up, Jerry? Jerry's from Bowling Green.
Yeah, I know. I remember him from last week. Thank you.
I'm sure that'll hurt the eyes.
Well, no worse than like bear or pepper spray or whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, so I want to talk about. I don't have a slide for it, but we've been trying to tell people since. Hey, well, two things. Let me go to this one first. If you are a business out there that is looking to get your message heard, we at the Gig Economy Podcast would love to tell you, or tell our listeners and our viewers about your business. We'll probably make fun of your name. We'll probably screw it up for the first 7 episodes, even though you bought 6. But no, on all seriousness, we would love to talk about your business. So obviously, businesses that work well on here, we are all set on auto mechanics, probably for life. Hopefully for life. Renewals coming up in June, so just want to say. But yeah, we're always open for any kind of thing that will help a driver. I mean, there's tons of stuff out there, and we've talked to a lot of companies, and we've interviewed a lot of companies, and we've obviously solicited them, and they haven't bought yet, but that's okay. But yeah, if you are interested in being on the show as a sponsor, it's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. So go ahead and send an email to team@gigeconomy-podcast.com, or you can send us a Facebook message. That's almost easier than trying to email. I mean, email's kind of a lost art right now. It's like that instant message now. I don't know. When I email, it's normal to schedule an interview like that, but I'd rather just talk over instant messages quicker. But anyways, and the second thing I want to talk about is Octopus tablet. So what is that? It is a tablet that you can get in your car as people are starting to, do more rideshare. You can earn up to $100 a month. It's got games, cool things. Customers or riders can win prizes. It's a tablet that they send out to you. Everything's free of charge. You don't have to pay for anything. So the link is in the description. It is live now in Grand Rapids. A lot of markets it's live in now. I've been seeing the referral links pop up all over the place. But if you're interested in that, click that link and sign up. And might as well make a little money. It's passive money, right? You're just driving around, so you might as well make a little money. I don't know what the responsibility of the tablet though goes. I don't know about that. Like if someone janks it, I don't know if you're on the hook for that or not.
I'm gonna have to sign up again. I think I signed up like a few years ago through y'all, but it never came here. But
it's still not there?
I don't think so. I'll have to try again though. I'll sign up again.
It probably isn't, because they sent emails out to although I don't think I ever I did get one. I think Peter got one before me, and then I was like, they never sent me an email. And then like a week later I got one.
I haven't seen anything.
I didn't get an email.
I haven't heard anybody around here using them.
No, I haven't either yet. You didn't get an email yesterday. You can't even drive for Lyft, so I mean, they're not going to send you anything. I mean, come on.
What did you have? That's not fair and fun.
All right, you're up next.
We're supposed to keep it friendly. I don't want to talk about it. You're like all mad.
Well, I'm not actually mad. I just want to kick you in the face.
Uncalled for, wasn't it, Jesper?
I know, it's totally uncalled for. So this article here is about a new rideshare company that is a Black-owned rideshare company called Go Girl Ride.
Go Girl.
Go Girl. Basically, the point is to make transportation safer for women. And Trinell, who is the founder of Go Girl Ride, is seeking to make the transportation industry safer. It's a Portland-based service that is set to launch Juneteenth and will start off as a traditional taxi service. Basically, it's going to be a phone-in service. So there won't actually be an app to begin with. So what's he saying here? Eventually transform into a digital application, but right now it's just phone in, and it's going to be an essential platform for the many women, sex workers, and LGBTQ individuals who are harassed or feel endangered during their rideshare route. So she goes on to say, I was an Uber driver for a few years, women, femmes, and non-binary folks. But women in particular really inspired me because most would come to my car and say, thank you, the Lord, that you are a woman. Trinell Doyle told Travel Noir, which is where the article is from. 95% of women who got in my car would say that. So I don't know if she had specific stats on that, but apparently she does. So I guess I can take a little bit of a segue here. We know that there is, another rideshare company out there who is offering a specific the ability for you to get a woman or a male, no, particularly a woman driver, right?
Yeah, you can't pick the male.
No, you can't pick male. You can't pick but you can pick a female. And so I'm wondering how that's going to work together with this particular concept. I would say that the concept is very much the same.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she goes on. Following the birth of this business in 2017, Doyle knew she had to bring this transportation service to life. The insatiable need for women passengers to feel the security men passengers experience stepping into an Uber or Lyft was her driving force. From 17 to 19, Uber received over 6,000 sexual assault claims, and Dora was included in that population. So basically, she had a sexual assault claim as well.
Yeah.
So again, she goes on to the article saying that she was not happy with how Uber handled the situation, and she really wanted to be a part of the solution as part of the problem. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of the apps, I think Zoom offers that too, Zoom Rides.
Well, it's Safer, right?
Yeah,
Safer is the other one.
Yeah. SAFR, which is the new one opening, that where you can specifically do that. Yeah. So again, I think it is a need out there. Obviously, the many apps that are doing that is proving that. My fear is though, and I'm always all over having new apps are starting, new services starting, but none of these new services are anything that anybody can patent or anything like that. So there's no reason why, if it turns into be a moneymaker, Uber or Lyft can't just add it to their platform. It's super easy.
And a lot of them are doing that because of it.
Right.
I mean,
and that's true.
Even we talked to Brian from Oil Uber. He's like, if Uber came and offered me money, I would sell out in a second. That doesn't mean he doesn't believe in his brand, but
oh, sure.
I mean, we all would, if Uber came to me and offered us $100,000 for the rights of the podcast, I might say, let's do it. You know what I mean?
But I'm not right. And I agree with that 100%, but I'm not saying Uber or Lyft is going to go out and say, let me buy Safer. They don't have any interest in that. They're just going to add the feature themselves. Who cares?
Yeah, those implement it themselves.
Yeah.
But that's true with any technology. I mean,
no, and absolutely true. But I just feel like Uber and Lyft is so much farther ahead of the new companies. And I'm not saying stop trying by any means. Yeah. I'm saying keep trying, and hopefully it'll work out. I want you to work out. I'm out here rooting for you. It's just an uphill battle.
Right? Well, yeah, sure. Because look at how many companies that Apple and Microsoft have put out of business because they've just included it in their systems.
Exactly. Right.
One of the things you got to remember, though, is where these companies are going to stand out is how they treat their drivers. That's where they're going to stand out. Yeah, Uber can offer that feature, great. But if company A can treat their drivers better, pay them more, give them extra perks, that's where they're going to stand out. You know what I mean?
And I agree with that 100%, Jason. But the problem is they can treat their drivers as good as they want to. But if there's no passengers using their service, there's no drivers.
True. They got to be competitive with prices. They basically have to take less money.
And spend more money on marketing to get into the new markets.
You're so negative. Yeah. You're so negative.
No, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's an uphill battle, and I want them to win.
Well, of course.
I have all the interest in getting more drivers and more companies out there, right?
Yeah, I think the app would have to get, if it was a new app, I think it would have to get pretty big before Uber or Lyft started implementing, because they've gotten those requests from millions of people saying, I'd like to be able to request my favorite driver, or I'd like to be able to request a woman driver, things like that. And they've just ignored it up to this point. And I think an app would have to get pretty big before they would say, okay, now we're going to implement it.
And so let's talk about from a different perspective. Is there also some politicalness, I didn't know the right word to say here, but so Uber and Lyft are both huge companies, right? And they have millions and millions and millions of users all over the world, right? So is there a political message in not wanting to allow for being able to pick a female driver? Because it's kind of it's this whole inclusivity issue. And I understand that you want to be able to, and you want the passenger to be safe and stuff like that, but you're also opening up a can of worms.
Yeah, I'm not going down that road, Jesper.
Okay, good.
Real quick, Jerry, no, you did not miss the condoms part that's coming up next.
Yeah, Jerry, no.
Just
coming later.
Note for you, Jesper, I did cut some articles as we're running up on 54 minutes here, so
I've been following along the lineups.
No, you've been doing fine. I'm just saying, coming up, there's some articles I cut out, so don't be surprised. All right,
You just
Jerry.
don't want me talking so much. I know.
Yeah, yeah. When you read the whole fucking article, Jesper, we don't have till
Hey,
2022.
It was exciting.
You're supposed to like highlight it and just hit the main points.
The first one was about purposes in 22.
I know. It was fine. It was totally fine. I'm just giving you shit. Okay.
He's throwing me under the bus, guys. Come on, help me out.
Here's the condoms, Jerry. Here's the condoms. So, said, hey, this is a text exchange. Hey, man, they were all out of those condoms. What other kind do you need me to get? It says, hi, this is DoorDash connecting you to your customer for updates about their order. You need them tonight or should I check out? Shit. The Lifestyle Skin Elites, I guess. Skin black box, purple highlights. This is never a thing I thought I would have to text someone about. Not even going to try and play it off, honestly. 2021 is fucking whack, bro. Bro.
Bro.
I'm like, he makes such a good point. Like, who would have thought that we would be texting like about stranger about condoms and KY jelly and pregnancy tests, and it's just like, I remember when I did shipped for, I don't know, I've probably done maybe like 100 shops. I always wondered if the woman was weird when she got a male shopper and I had to get tampons. Like, it didn't bother me. The only thing that bothered me, there was like fucking 300 styles and like super jumbo, skinny, colorful.
Hey, trust me, I have 5 sisters. I've gone
exactly. It didn't bother me. It didn't.
And
bother
I don't understand. Some guys get embarrassed. I'm like, I don't understand. They know it's not for me.
Yeah.
Why do you get embarrassed?
I mean, did they think the cashier's like, oh, you're going to stick these up your butt? I'm sure you are. That's why you're buying tampons. Like, oh, maybe you have your lovely wife at home or something.
Exactly.
Like, it's the right thing to do as a man. Like, your woman or your daughter or whatever, she's struggling. She ran out. Just go get them. Like,
that's right.
I never understood that either. I mean, maybe buying douche, that might be a little weird because I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go there. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways,
you just did.
I know I did. 2021, it is whack, bro.
It's a weird year. I can't wait for it to get back to kind of quote unquote the new normal. That's the thing, man.
It's coming, man. Like
we're on the way.
July 1st, everything's back to square one. No masks.
I walk out of my office like 10 times a day, and I'm like, oh crap, where's my mask? Where's my mask? And then, I don't need it anymore. Because normally I set my office, every time I walked out, I had to put my mask on. And
right
now I'm like freaking out. But it is weird now, like when you go into stores or restaurants, because like half of them here, you have to wear the mask still. Half of them you don't. You never know until you get in. And
I've just been wearing them when I go into the stores. I don't even bother. I just wear them, whatever.
I tried it out the other day. I went to Aldi, and they now have it on the door, saying if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to. And so it's like,
so no one was wearing it.
I'm gonna try it out. It's just me. I went in there, and it was about like 25% of the people in there did not have a mask on, and I was like, it was weird. It was weird, but I felt good, right? Because my glasses isn't fucking up, and I can see whatever the cell phone says on the list, right? But it was so weird. It was so weird.
It does feel weird to me walking around work.
We've had the mask for a year now, right?
It's been so long. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. One of the guys at work, he walked over, he's like, oh man, you shaved your mustache. I'm like, yeah, like a freaking year ago I did, but he hadn't seen my face,
wow.
in a year.
Yeah, my wife works at the hospital, and she's pretty sure they will always have masks from here on out.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, she takes hers off in her office with her work partner. I mean, obviously they're both vaccinated, but yeah, when they step out of that office, masks on. It's just, I think that's going to be the new standard there.
But didn't you also mention to me, Jason, that your family have experienced much less of the quote unquote normal diseases, if you will? There's been less colds and stuff like that. Well, yeah.
I mean, it works.
That's the benefit of doing that.
I know. Everyone say the mask doesn't work, but we had like 0 flu cases over the winter.
Oh yeah, right? Flu was way down this year.
Yeah, but I will say my wife was vaccinated. She did get coronavirus and did have symptoms. So just because you're vaccinated, it is a lower risk.
How long had she had the vaccine? She'd had it for a little while too.
Yeah, she got it in December.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's been 5 months?
Yeah. So
well, which one did she get?
Pfizer.
Okay.
That was the first one that was out. So
That's what I got, Pfizer.
yeah, but anyways, so moving on. This is real quick. It's weirdly this video. This guy gets robbed, but there's no sound. I checked like 3 or 4 different videos, and there's no sound in it. But it's a news story, so they'll talk over it.
Now at 11, a gut-wrenching robbery of a local Asian man captured on camera. Police investigating it as a possible hate crime. This masked gunman attacking a 67-year-old Lyft driver, Paul Liao, at an Arco gas station in South El Monte. After slipping into the back seat, the robber grabs Liao's phone, forces him to hand over more than $1,500 in cash that he had just earned at another job, then hits him in the face twice with his handgun. He also told Liao to go back to China.
Ouch.
A GoFundMe to help recover some of his lost money and pay for medical expenses has already raised $7,500 and counting. The video so clear, this robber's going to be famous. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more.
I hope so, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
nonchalantly, he said, "This robber." First of all, you steal a cell phone. That's the dumbest thing you can steal. Like those have become, no one steals them anymore. They're trackable. You can shut them down. Like they're worth nothing. You can't. I mean, I guess you could part it out. Or fake sell it to somebody or something, but
what would be the interest of that? Right?
I don't
Parting
know.
it out, yeah.
But
No.
anyways,
Well, a lot of these people that do it aren't the sharpest crayon in the box. So.
yeah. So just
True.
Obviously have a camera. It's not going to prevent you from getting assaulted, but at least that son of a bitch is going to get caught. Like at least you have that, and
Yeah. I mean, and then what was the benefit of him wearing that mask? It's like you can clearly see your face.
again, go back to Larry's statement. They're not the brightest bulbs in the box. So
No doubt.
gosh. So moving on, talking about GoPuff, which is interesting because one of our next episodes is live on Patreon right now, talking about a local company that does like this GoPuff service, which I'm actually definitely going to work for this fall. That would mean I'll have to actually go out at night though, so that might be a stretch.
And you'll be delivering some weird things at night.
Well,
particularly with GoPuff.
Yeah, with GoPuff. So that's interesting you bring that up, Jesper. When you say GoPuff, they're actually talking in this article about they're wanting to rebrand because people think it's associated with cannabis, which I never even thought about.
Just got to put the weigh the word a little bit different. Let's go puff.
I know I never read it as like it's like they talk about GoPuff being like a bro frat kind of thing, and like they don't actually deliver cannabis right now, but it's funny.
I like
Not yet.
Not yet.
The not yet.
But they did hire like a marketing guy from Facebook that is trying to rebrand them. They actually asked them to change the name, and the owners said no, we're not changing it, at least at this point. But last year their revenue tripled to $340 million. Right now they're a Philly-based company involved in a full-fledged delivery service offering alcohol, beverages, grocery, vape pens, and soon prescription meds. One of its selling points is it promises to get orders to customers within 30 minutes. It mostly hits the goal, although about 10% of the time deliveries are closer to 50 minutes. Let's see. Meanwhile, the battle for customers is intensifying. I kept writing it testifying. DoorDash, which started out as a restaurant delivery app, expanded into convenience store products last year and has already overtaken GoPuff in its core business. So DoorDash has already overtaken them, which is, I was shocked. Let's see. It says last year, GoPuff's share of convenience store transactions shrunk from 65 to 23%. So DoorDash is just crushing them. But what's interesting,
DoorDash again.
Yeah, but I mean, like GoPuff, if you don't what GoPuff is, you don't actually even have to shop for it. You pull up to a warehouse, they load it in your car, and you drive away.
Yeah, I need to sign up for them again too, because they were supposedly coming here. There's like an article here, and I signed up, and then something happened. I think COVID hit.
Yep.
I think
Same with
they
Grand
never
Rapids.
actually opened here, so I'm going to check into that one again too.
Yeah, I was super excited about that because it seemed like very easy to do. Like
you pull up and it's ready and waiting for you. That'd be nice.
Because I hate the DoorDash when you're like, oh, go to Walgreens and get like 10 items.
I've never done one of those for DoorDash.
I've done a few, and sometimes they don't pay too bad, but like if I could just roll up to a warehouse and back up and they're like, here's your bag, you know what I mean? And just like food delivery. But even more than food delivery, because my guess there'll be no waiting for them to cook the food. They're gonna have it ready.
Yeah, everything should be ready when you get there.
Yeah, the second that order comes in, they pack it right then. Like there will be zero downtime.
You just roll through, slow down about 20 miles an hour, roll your passenger window down, they toss it in, and
throw that effer in. It's ready to
go.
One thing that I thought was interesting is another obstacle for GoPuff is the drivers complain about the tech. It's really buggy, they said. That actually gave me a red flag more than anything.
That would drive me batty.
There's nothing worse than when you're trying to work and you're multitasking through a bunch of different apps and you got one that's just dicking the dog and is just not working.
You're going to find yourself not switching to it. That's the problem, right?
Yes.
I won't even be turning it on.
One person says that she doesn't like that you have to actually work scheduled shifts for GoPuff too. So
that's a negative for me.
Yeah, Larry's like, I'm out. But yeah, so it's interesting. The one that's coming here is called GR to Go. It's literally the same thing. Obviously doesn't have as many items, but he's trying to launch that. He's been in the business for a while. It was a good conversation with Toby. Well, even though you might not be in the Grand Rapids market, I encourage you to listen to it when it comes out to y'all.
Sign me up for it.
Yeah.
I'll do it when I'm up there for the picnic.
There you go. You can, if you want to listen to it now, definitely go to Patreon. We always give our Patreon members early dibs on that. But it's just a good conversation how we talked about earlier about treating the driver well and giving some of the rewards that the company earns to the driver. It was really good. It was a good conversation. I was pleasantly surprised how well Toby just knew his shit. And it was really good. So
if there'd be one company out here, whether it's food delivery, passengers, whatever, if there'd be some company that would treat their drivers right, they would be wildly successful.
Well, like even Toby talked about, they do like profit sharing at the end of the month. Stuff
like that means a lot.
It does. It gives you like quote unquote some skin in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be more.
You have some ownership. Yeah.
You're going to be more careful. Like even my job, like they pay us really good. We're only worked 6 months out of the year. They pay us really good. We take care of the equipment. We do the right thing. You get what you pay for. I mean, when it comes to that. So, all right, Jesper.
I thought you deleted this. No, I'm good.
No, I didn't delete this one.
No, I know. Did you put it up?
There
we go. So look at the owners. See, this is why you always give it to me, right?
Because it has to do with P?
No, because there's a swear word in it.
I usually do it because it has to do with P.
So I'm a food delivery app driver. When I arrived at this place to pick up the food and deliver it to the customer, I asked to use the bathroom, and I was informed that only customers can use the bathroom, that it is forbidden to use it by a blah, 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 blah. Our restrooms are for customers. This is a response from the owner. Our restrooms are for customers only. You could have bought a bottle of water and use it like other drivers, instead of harassing our staff and making a scene that is only following instructions and restaurant policies. So basically, he was forcing even the drivers to buy a bottle of water so they could use the bathroom. That's ridiculous.
Well, so you can read that two ways. Was he telling him to buy a bottle of water to use the bottle, or to buy a bottle of water so that he can...
Now, I did read it that way the first time I read it, Larry. I must say.
Because that's how I read it.
But then you got to pour out the water first before you can pee in the bottle.
Oh,
right?
Larry.
I drank the water.
Larry, I love that. Speaking of that, my daughter, so funny. She, obviously I work outside. Okay. We all know I pee in Gatorade bottles. And so I was like, oh yeah, this year, first day out in the lawns back in March, I realized I didn't have a pee bottle. So I had to go to the gas station, grab a Powerade, and then I just dumped it out and I had a pee bottle. She's like, why didn't you drink it? I'm like, well, I didn't want to drink it. I just needed a pee bottle. And she was just flabbergasted. I'm like, honey, I got to pee. Like, where am I going to pee? Like, I got to dump it out. There's no room in the bottle. There's Powerade in there.
Again, a question. If you went to buy a Powerade, why didn't you use the bathroom there?
Well, you're right. You're right. I did use it. You're right. You're right. But eventually, I'm going to have to use that bottle, and I'm not going to drink all the Powerade.
I'm giving you a hard
time. He poured the Powerade from the bottle into the toilet. That's what he did.
Oh, my gosh. This is getting who's on
cut
first.
Cut out the middleman there.
Jeez. So funny. This is basically, obviously, he reviewed somewhere. This has gone kind of viral. If you go to Reddit, you can see a lot of people got on this guy's page and just destroyed his restaurant with the reviews. What do you guys think about that? Like, I don't know. There's no way to police it. Like, if you've never been there, there's no way to verify you've actually been to the restaurant. So, like, anybody can just destroy a guy's rating for whatever reason.
But they can do it no matter what, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't.
But this was a food delivery driver, and he was picking up food from the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let him use the bathroom.
If they're helping out your business, I would think you would let them use your restaurant. I mean, it's not like he's a bum, off the street who's just coming in.
Exactly.
For nothing else.
I have seen restaurants in Grand Rapids that I have delivered to that says you cannot use the bathroom. Now, I can't think of any offhand. It doesn't really bother me. It annoys me when I see it. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Like, in my head, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to throw a fit about it, but I can't believe like the guy's like, no, you can't use it. You have to buy something to use it. I'm like, and when I see one that says bathrooms are open for delivery drivers, I just want to hug the owner. You know what I mean? I just want to be. That's
one thing I think I'm lucky about here. I've never seen a place anywhere I run into one where they said anything like that.
So what if when you see those signs, what if you just started canceling the order?
Yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah. I mean, this guy, you don't want to mess with the internet. Like, this guy, I don't know what he eventually did and if he saved himself, but I would have, like, you got in, it's like this, it's like some old guy. He doesn't understand the internet. Like, I would have said, hey, you know what? You're right. I probably should allow that for delivery drivers. I'm going to change my policy. Like, he just stood his ground, and it's his right. Don't get me wrong. It's his business. He can do what he wants. I'm not shaming him for that, but man, he probably got.
But there's consequences.
There is consequences.
Well, that's the thing. Every decision has a consequence, right?
Yeah, just like they always say, like, oh, that's freedom of speech. I'm like, yeah, you can say what you want. Doesn't mean there's not consequences with that. Like,
exactly.
You can you can say you want to do something to the president, but doesn't mean the Secret Service isn't going to be on your doorstep in the morning.
Yep.
Right. I mean, I could see myself starting to cancel orders like that, and hopefully other people would do the same, and then eventually.
Yeah, especially if the guy had attitude about it. And again, I mean, maybe that driver did harass the staff. I don't know. It's he said, she said. The driver shouldn't be a dick to the staff. It's not that they didn't make the rule.
Right. No, you never know the whole story.
I might say something. I always try to be respectful, but if I am frustrated, I will make a comment, but I'm never like cause a scene. I'm just be like, well, that's ridiculous. Or
you would just pee on the floor.
Yeah, I would flop it out. I mean, I'd hide myself from women and children, but I would just flop it out and just let it rip if I had to go. So
sometimes you just got to go.
Hey, sometimes you just got to go. Speaking of going, we'd love for you to support. I don't know. That was a terrible transition.
No.
We'd love for you to support us on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast, you get an extra podcast a month, you get exclusive merch, and I think you get 2 podcasts this month. I think I uploaded 2, so I think I'm making up for April. I think I dropped maybe we did. I don't know.
Well, you did an early one this month.
Yeah, I did an early one, and then I just uploaded another one. Yeah. So, and then there's one more coming in June, and we're just killing it on the interviews. So, if you go to patreon.com, we love to support you. You can do it $5 tier. That gives you absolutely nothing other than a thank you from us. And a $10 tier gets you you nothing. It gets you mentioned on the show. There we go. But if you do the $10 tier, like I said, you get a piece of merch with our logo on it, an extra podcast a month, and before the scenes or before the show banter, which may or may not be good or bad. Usually I tell Jesper to F off at one point, but
at least once.
At least once. So we thank everyone that does currently support us, especially Larry. We really appreciate that. Okay, so this guy. This is how I could feel like Jesper would be backing in and out. I always got to shit on Jesper, but all right, here we go. Okay, Amazon delivery driver makes the delivery, and he's going to back out. And 3, 4, 5. No, he's going to reposition. Well, no, this is the worst move right there.
That's way worse.
That was the
What are you
way
doing?
worse.
Oh my gosh. It's a straight driveway. Just back out.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's getting it. He's getting
He's
it.
there. He's almost the money shot. And he
Oh!
Is it like 87-point turn?
Yeah. So, it's funny. Like I've noticed when, especially when I'm delivering in the country, I'll back into their grass so much. Like if they don't take care of it and you can see like someone's parked there or something, I have no problem backing up into their grass. But that guy was rough. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that house, I don't think they would have cared.
no, I don't think they would have cared either. But
I don't know why he pulled past the car and then tried to do it. That was so much worse.
Yeah,
so much worse.
Just back out.
Yeah, it looked like
it's tough to back. Like I don't blame him. Like you put yourself at so much risk backing out. Like when I worked for UPS that one season, and I have learned, like I talk about this all the time. I've learned so many more driving skills going through. I mean, they are serious about driver safety. Like the entire week I was in class before I even went out was basically for driver safety, like how to drive better. Like I had to take this test that's written. I mean, it was ridiculous. Anyways, and you have to
You actually learn how to drive? That's nice.
Yeah. Says the guy that got kicked off Lyft from doing 100 on 131 at 1:30 in the morning.
We have to do a yearly online driver safety here in Kentucky for Uber and Lyft.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just questions.
Well, no, I mean it takes like an hour and a half, something like that.
But that's serious.
Yeah, I mean it's like videos and all this kind of stuff.
That's how you make the big bucks.
Uber makes you do it I had to do it once, I think, for Lyft, but Uber makes you do it every year. And it was funny because Lyft sent you a link for free. Uber charges you $15.
Of course. Of course, they got to grow their business so they can be profitable.
Yeah.
Your $15 is going to put them over the edge, Larry.
That's it.
But anyways, I forgot my point. They talk about backing up. It's like murder in UPS when you back up. Like those trucks have backup counters. They can see how many times every day you back up, and they don't want you backing up. So,
I can understand that.
And one thing I learned too is if you are going to back up, do all that before your delivery, because you know where everything is. You know where everything is as you pull up. But when you go to deliver, you don't know if a kid got behind you or a bike or whatever. But anyways, we're done learning about that. Yep. Here's another video, a little bit about an Uber creep.
Okay, I'm going to do a little story time about why you guys need to be safe in Ubers. So yesterday I had a flight to get to the airport at 6 a.m. So then I wanted to leave for the airport at 4. So this Uber picks me up. I get into the car, and after 5 minutes of being in the car, the Uber cancels it. And I go, did you just cancel my ride? He goes, yeah, call another one right now and I'll pick it up. But by that time, it was $88 for that same ride. And I go, I'm not paying $88 for a ride. I just paid $50 for it. Like, what happened? And so he was like, give me $88 cash and then I'll take you to the airport. I go, I don't have $88. All I have is $40. And he goes, fine, whatever. And so he starts driving to what I thought was towards the airport, pulls into a random gas station and says, give me all the cash in your wallet or else I'm not taking you any farther. So I was like, I only have $45 cash. I told you that. And he takes the $45, kicks me out of the car, and I'm abandoned at this random gas station, a 19-year-old girl at this random gas station at 4:00 in the morning. I sent the complaint to Uber and they gave me a $5 credit. That's it for the whole situation. Do better, Uber.
Okay, I hate her voice. Sorry.
Yeah, $5. I mean, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they deactivated the driver.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always hate that. You left a 19-year-old girl. You're big enough to fly in a plane. You'll be okay. You have a smartphone.
But that doesn't mean that he wasn't a douchebag.
Oh no!
My God! Yeah, no, that's horrible.
100%. That driver was a douchebag and should be fired.
Yeah, somebody did that with my daughter. I'd be out for blood.
Yeah, he sounds like a straight up criminal because, what are you doing? Like, why are you canceling the ride? I don't understand. People try hard to skirt the system. If they,
he was throwing her out of the car. I don't know why she gave him the $45.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that, right? Because she was scared of the situation.
Yeah, she was.
That's true.
He obviously had a rider app and knew the multiplier went up. Yeah. That was what happened. and so all of a sudden the ride was so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Like I'm not blaming her at all. Like in that situation, she was probably scared. Like after it canceled, I would be like,
when it was 4:00 in the morning.
oh yeah,
What the hell are you gonna do?
That does change a lot of things, but that guy's a piece of shit. Like hopefully he got deactivated, and hopefully
I'd like to pull him out in the road somewhere and pull him out of the car at 4:00 in the morning. Not at a gas station, nowhere lit.
All right. This will be the last one. We'll wrap it up because we're at an hour and 20 minutes. And so we talked about earlier, California. Well, speaking of talking, will require Uber and Lyft to switch to electric vehicles. So really, I'm not really going to read the article. I just wanted to spark a discussion about this. What do you guys think about this? Like, they didn't really talk about who's going to pay for it and anything like that. I mean, there's some rebates and those kind of things, but
yeah, I mean, I think it'll just be, it's just like now. I mean, they have restrictions on how old your car can be. And, if you want to do comfort, you have to have this model and that model. They'll just say, hey, I mean, if you don't have this card, you're not there. They're not going to put you on the app.
Do you think it's going to be a car type, just like Uber X or Uber XL, and you can have Uber EV? Is it going to be an Uber EV?
Well, they said everything.
They said everything by
all Uber.
I think by 2030, right?
Will be electric. So if you don't have electric, you won't be driving Uber in California.
Which honestly is not that far away. I mean, 2030, that's 9.5 years, and
that'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, it'll be here before 2030. Oh, 90% electric. But then, like, how do you do the percentages? Like, which 10% doesn't have to do the electric? Honestly, I would love it. I would love a Tesla. I don't know.
I need both.
Yeah, I know. Do you? I don't know. I don't quite trust the Chevy Volt. I don't know. I'm done with American cars. Like I'm Toyota, Honda. Like, and Honda really doesn't have a very good hybrid, or I don't know if they have just an electric car.
I thought I heard Ford is coming out with one.
Ford's coming out with a truck,
and it's pretty badass.
Is it? What is the start rate of that? $75,000?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, trucks are ridiculous these days.
Yeah.
More than I paid for my first house.
But that's the other side of it then. So if they're going to force EVs, are they going to increase the rates? I mean, because how else are you going to be able to pay for that car?
Well, they're not ridiculously expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong. A base Tesla is $30,000. That's a lot of money. That's more than I've ever spent on a car. But I mean,
what, 35? I think they're 35.
They're 35.
I was going to say, I don't think they're 30.
I think so. And that's, like I said, that's the base.
I mean, my wife's car was 25. That's the most we've ever spent. And so, I mean, another $10,000, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money. But if you're not buying gas, I mean, for me, I spend $500 a month in gas when I'm doing gig work.
You are still paying.
How much are you paying in electricity?
Okay, everyone's talking at the same time. Go ahead.
How much are you paying in electricity?
I don't know. I don't look up.
It'll go up.
Kilowatts, huh?
It'll definitely go up when if you're charging at home.
Yeah, for sure.
But not near as much as you're paying in gas.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, I'm about at $500 a month in fuel doing gig work for that big old hog.
A lot less maintenance on an EV as well.
Yeah, but I worry about the winter. I really do worry about the cold winters. I mean, I haven't heard anything people having trouble with Teslas being cold, but I mean, my guess is you don't want to park a Tesla outside, in the middle of winter.
I don't know. I'd have to read about that.
Put a trickle charger on it.
Well, isn't that has something to do with like don't they have to do that for diesels? Like they have a glow plug or something?
Yeah. They do for a diesel. Yeah, warm it up.
I don't know. My guess is if you own a Tesla, you're not parking it outside. That's just my thought. But I mean, we've had some cold winters where it gets into the negative. I can't imagine those batteries do very well in the cold. I mean, they even say when you take a battery out of a car, you bring it inside. You don't leave it in the garage. You can, but it'll shorten the life.
I'll do some research on that. See what I can find out. I know there's a guy in Louisville that does a bunch of YouTube videos on Tesla. He's pretty wild. He had a YouTube channel already. I forget what it was about originally, but he bought one and learned about the referral program that Tesla has. 'Cause
Okay.
when you buy a Tesla, you get a referral code.
Okay.
But like they're big time referrals. Like he has gotten he ended up being the at one point he was the number one referrer in the world. He got 2 free Teslas from them for refer because he referred so many people.
Was he using it on his YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Dustin from Dustin is Driving.
Mhm.
He made most his money from referrals.
Yeah.
Like
But I mean, that's how, that's how I'm sure the rideshare guy and a lot of people like that, they made so much money from referrals on different programs and stuff.
yeah.
The rideshare money was just incidental.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Dustin, his whole business is YouTube. He makes all his money from his YouTube videos. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a Tesla. Like, who knows? We'll see. I'm not quite sure I'm ready to commit to using that like for gig work. But my God, an extra $500 a month of no gas, like even if the electricity was half that, which it wouldn't be, I don't think
so.
But anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to do some math.
Oh, what have we? 2 rules on this show. We don't do
math, no geography.
Thank you. Larry's got it down. He's a professional.
No math, no geography.
No
That's
math,
it.
no geography on this show. But
I was promised there would be no math.
right.
Yeah,
but seriously, if you have time, look that up about the
I will.
batteries in the
Yeah,
cold.
I'll look that up and let you know what I find out.
My guess is they'll say it's fine, but I wonder on the longevity of those batteries. I mean, they haven't been out long enough that I wonder if they can like do a study that says, "Ooh, yeah, these Michigan drivers are replacing their batteries sooner than the California drivers." Or
be interesting to hear.
And you got the
We have
road salt.
We actually have a Tesla dealership out on 28th Street now, too.
Yeah, it's on 29th Street actually. I actually do a
yeah.
lawn. I sent it in the group chat. I do the lawn right next to that Tesla dealership.
Oh, okay.
They can't
nice.
actually sell them there because it's against the law. But they can have like a display center, I guess. I don't know. It's very
why
weird.
is it against? I guess
It's against the law. It's because the
sell-
unions, the Teamsters and all that from the big, the Ford and Chevy, very back in the day made this law that you could only do such and such and such. You literally cannot buy a Tesla in Michigan. When the transaction happens, you're buying it online. So you can go there and you can test drive them and you can look at them and do all that, but you can't buy it in that.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Buy it online, and then you get the exact car that's sitting in front of you.
100%. 100%. So,
Yep.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Larry, hang on the line after we sign off. But I thank you very much for listening. I thank
you guys.
everyone for chiming
appreciate
in
it, guys.
and all that stuff. So have a good night.
Right, have a good holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah. That too.